I am an immigration attorney. I'm based right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. We help clients all throughout the United States and abroad, and we help them with U.S. immigration issues. So if you're wondering if you have an immigration issue, it's basically if you want to remain in the U.S., or you or someone you know wants to remain in the U.S., you want to get status in the U.S., you want to work in the U.S., or you want to bring someone into the U.S. from abroad. So those are the types of issues that we work with. We help clients with work-based applications. We help them with family-based applications, and also some of our most common applications are humanitarian types of applications. If you want to know what that is more based on abuse. So there are sometimes people are married to U.S. citizens or green card holders, and they can receive work permit. They can receive a green card. Ultimately, they can even receive travel authorization if they have been in the United States and have suffered abuse at the hands of their spouse or perhaps their parents. They might be eligible for a green card. They might be eligible for a work permit. I am streaming right now on multiple platforms, so feel free to put your questions in. I will be kind of going back and forth between several platforms. So we're here on YouTube, we're here on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. Hi, TikTok friends. We always have a lot of folks joining on TikTok. And type your question in. I will be talking a little bit about some questions that have popped up here previously, or some questions that our clients ask us that I think will be helpful to you. But I'm an immigration attorney that helps with many types of immigration cases. My name is Pratibha Agarwal. Feel free to type your question in, and I will do my best to get to you. Okay? Thank you for joining me. I hope everyone had a good, fun holiday season. I hope you're getting ready for the end of the year, for the next year. And if you are interested in immigration services, immigration advice, put your questions in, and hopefully it will help you get set up, get started for your next year. Okay? Great. So one of the questions I want to start off with, I always start off with a question of the day. This is something that has come to us that I think will be helpful to you. And let me kind of go through that. So our question for the day today is about a VAWA-based green card interview. Right? It's a VAWA-based green card interview. So VAWA is a green card application for people who are usually married to U.S. citizens or green card holders. Other people are also eligible, like parents of a U.S. citizen, or children perhaps of a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. You might also be eligible for a VAWA, but for us, for our firm, the most typical type of VAWA client is married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. Sometimes you're still living with them. Sometimes they are divorced. Sometimes they entered legally. Sometimes they entered illegally, right? So there's many different people that qualify for this type of application, and they are suffering some kind of abuse in the marriage, or their spouse is refusing to help them apply for a green card, and they file for a green card application on their own without the help of their spouse. Okay, so this is the type of green card, this is the type of application that is very common. So the question that I want to address today is for this type of application. So it often comes up, since this application is about abuse, what will I have to talk about at the VAWA green card interview, right? What will I have to talk about at the VAWA green card interview? The thing to remember is generally the government will not ask you questions about abuse. What they want to know about is your criminal history, perhaps. They want to know that your marriage was real and not just for immigration purposes, right? They want to make sure that what you're saying is consistent among all of the different types of facts that you've submitted to them already. So if you had previous applications and there are inconsistencies, they might want an explanation for that. They want to make sure you're being truthful and honest and credible. But they're not generally going to ask you questions about abuse in your marriage. Okay? So that's something to note. They can, however, ask if they suspect fraud, right? If they suspect that you are lying, you're not being truthful, then they can get into questions regarding abuse in your marriage. All right? But generally speaking, the petition on whether or not you qualify for VAWA has already been approved. The green card portion comes afterwards. Okay? If we can help you with your VAWA application, if you'd like a work permit, if you'd like travel authorization, if you'd like a green card through VAWA, please give us a call. We'll walk you through it and confirm that you're eligible, and we'll help you file your application. It would be a great way to start the new year, to start off on a new footing, so to speak. Give us a call. We can help you schedule a consultation. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. If you're joining me for the first time, say hello. Tell me where you're from. I see a lot of folks here on Instagram. Hi, Maywish. Hi, Kuldeep. Hi, Tharun. Nice to see all of you. Thank you for joining. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out, to type them in. If you want to have a confidential consultation, call our office 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. Right now, our office actually is closed. It closes at 5:30 Eastern time, but I'm here answering your questions, so you can type them in here, or if you want to schedule that consultation, you can go on our Facebook page or our website, which is agarwalimmigration.com, and you can schedule your own consultation. You'll see my calendar, my availability, and you can make the payment and go ahead and schedule your consultation right on our Facebook page or on our website, which is agarwalimmigration.com. Same, Agarwal Immigration is our handle on Facebook as well. All right, Karina, thank you for joining. Thanks for your question. Let me read it out loud because we are streaming on several different platforms, so I want to make sure everybody knows which question I'm answering. Again, feel free to put your questions in, but if you're joining me for the first time, or if you're joining me from wherever, say hello. I'd love to hear from you. I hope everyone had a really good holiday, and I hope that today I can be helpful in somehow clarifying some immigration confusion if I can. Okay, Karina says, I have a friend who is a green card holder in the U.S., but his 12-year-old daughter is still in the Caribbean living with her aunt because her mom passed away. What steps could he take for her to be with him? Great. So if he's a green card holder, he can sponsor his daughter. All right. If he's a green card holder, he can sponsor his daughter who is abroad. So there are a couple of ways this can be done. For example, if she comes in for a visit, right? So if she comes in for a visit to see if she likes it, if she's intending to go back to the Caribbean and she just comes for a visit and then he later changes his mind and decides that he should keep her here, he could file for a green card at that point, right? And they're already together. He could file for a green card. She would get a social security number, even a technical work permit, even though she's too young to work. She'd get a social security number around 6 to 8 months after she applies. And then ultimately she will go for an interview, and he can go with her. And hopefully she'll get her green card here in the U.S., right? So that's if she comes in with the intention really of going back to the Caribbean, if she's coming for a visit and they later change their mind. Okay? But another way to do it is if he starts the sponsorship process while she is in the Caribbean. So what he could do at that point is apply here at USCIS. He has to prove that he's a green card holder and that she's his daughter. Right, for men, you have to also show that you've cared for, you've supported the child before or while she's a minor, since she's already a minor. So if he's provided some support, if he's lived with her previously, we'd have to show proof of that as well, and also show that he's her father. We would do that. And then he would continue with the sponsorship process. She'd be interviewed abroad, receive a stamp in her passport that is a green card, and then she could come in at that point as a green card holder. The green card would be mailed to her after she enters the U.S. Okay, so if we can help you with that process, if we can go through pros and cons of the different types of options, that I would love to do that with you. Give us a call, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. The process is long. It can be a couple of years long, so you should really consider the options. You should know all of the details on whether she can visit, whether she cannot, all of those types of things. But I hope this was helpful to your friend. If he would like to reach out for a consultation, I would love to chat with him, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. You can schedule your own consultation on our Facebook page, which is at Agarwal Immigration, or on our website, agarwalimmigration.com. Great. Hi, Amirali. Hi, Aman. Hi, Maywish. Let's see. What benefits can we get through a prima facie? Kuldeep Chowdhury says, what benefits can we get through a prima facie? So what is a prima facie? Let me go through that first. So in a abuse-based green card, one of the first documents you'll receive from the government is called a prima facie determination. So what that means is that the government looked at your application on its face. So this is an application based on abuse in a marriage or based on abuse by someone, right? Different people qualify, but let me, for this hypothetical sake, let me talk about the situation where there is a marriage to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and there's abuse in the marriage. Once the application is filed, usually about 2 to 3 months after it's mailed in, you will get a notice that is called a prima facie determination. So what that means is that the government looked at your application on its face. It looks like it's going to be approved, right? It satisfies all the elements. You have all of the different documents that you need for it to be approved. However, they're not going to approve it in 2 or 3 months because they need to run background checks. They need to go more in depth with your application. They need to confirm that it's consistent with anything you might have previously filed. They want to know you're not a criminal, right? So they have a lot more to do other than just approve your application. So it says on its face, it looks like it's going to be approved. So what are those benefits, right? So there could be many benefits. In some states, you can get a driver's license based on this, right? Based on this, if you have an immigration court hearing coming up, you might be able to get that immigration court case terminated based on this. If someone is trying to deport you, right? If you have an abusive spouse, they may be trying to deport you, or maybe you run into the police and something bad happens where you could be deported. This document could protect you from removal because it shows that you have an application pending that kind of meets the basic requirements for approval. Okay, so those are the benefits. There are a lot of benefits for prima facie determination. I hope that was helpful to you, Kuldeep. Thank you for joining. All right, great. So let's see. I have quite a bit of folks here with lots of questions. I'm going to get through them best I can. Okay. All right. So let's see. I have D. Souza Roldo joins, says hi, hello. So D. Souza Roldo is saying, is there any way for a seaman, right? A seaman is someone with a C1 visa. So usually those visas are for people that are here on transit. So if they're working on an airplane or if they're working on a cruise ship, they will have what's called a C1D visa, which lets you just come and transfer, just basically enter the U.S. and you're technically supposed to get back on a ship or something like that. The problem with those visas is that they limit you, like let's say you get off that ship and you marry a U.S. citizen. They limit you from getting a green card based on that. They limit you from changing status based on that because they don't want people joining cruise ships and then hopping off and staying in the U.S. So that's kind of the normal framework for a C1D application. It can be problematic if you're not applying for something humanitarian. However, depending on your situation, you might qualify for several different things. In our firm, we have people on a C1D that got married to a green card holder or that got married to a U.S. citizen. They hopped that ship and they stayed here in the U.S. and then they got into a relationship with an abusive spouse, right? In that situation, it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter that you entered with a C1D, you can still get a green card. We also have folks that are afraid to return to their home country. They maybe have political beliefs that might put their life into jeopardy if they were to return to their home country. So they can apply for what's called asylum, and asylum can lead to a green card. So when you're on a C1D, you might be eligible for various different options. It just depends kind of on your situation and what you might qualify for. You might even have more than one option, right? So even though you're on a C1D, it doesn't mean that you don't have every option available to you. Of course, that is a fact. But if you're on a C1D, you might still qualify for humanitarian options that could lead to a visa, that could lead to a green card. Okay, so that is something to keep in mind. If we can help you with that, feel free to reach out to us. We are at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. 1663. All right. Kuldeep asked again, VAWA prima facie determination, are they important? Yes, they're important, right? They're important because it means that it's, again, as I said, it's a determination that's issued usually 2 to 3 months after your application has been filed, right? It's usually issued 2 to 3 months after your application has filed. It means that everything looks good. To get a prima facie determination, your children will be listed on there. If you have minor children that you didn't file for a green card for, you can still file for them, right? You can still file for a green card for minor children based on your VAWA application. So that will be listed on your determination. You might be able to get a driver's license based on that prima facie determination. If you have immigration court case pending, you might be able to get that terminated or dismissed based on this prima facie determination. So there's many different benefits, and you want to fully understand that. I would never do a VAWA application on my own without a lawyer, right? I would never do a VAWA application on my own without an attorney, because there are very different complex parts to this type of application, and you want to get a green card. Ultimately, you want to get a green card, right? So give us a call if we can help you with that, 703-348-1663. My name, again, is Pratibha Agarwal, if you're joining me. I am an immigration attorney. I'm based in Arlington, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C. But we help our clients no matter where in the U.S. or abroad they are located. So feel free to reach out to us if we can help you with your immigration questions, okay? All right, Mickey. Mickey has a very long question here. I don't know if I can get to it. Let me see if I can summarize it for my friends here. Hold on a second. I've been applying for my visitor visa. I've filled out my biological parents' names who I've been living with, but in my birth certificate I have someone else's names as parents. The reason why is because when I was born, my biological parents didn't have a birth certificate to register for me at that time. What name should I put as my parents if I have filed for a VAWA case? Will it affect how my visitor visa has my biological, and now I've put it on? That's a good question. Okay. So basically, Mickey, sorry guys for the ones that didn't get to see the question. So Mickey is filing a VAWA application, and he's previously filed a tourist visa application, and he has listed one set of names for his parents, but it's not the actual set of names for his parents. So I would put down your actual biological parents' names, and I would explain in the back that these are not the names that appear on my birth certificate, and this is the reason why. Right? So basically you're explaining the situation, you're disclosing everything, so you're being truthful and honest. And at the end of the day, even if it was a misrepresentation, right? It's a confusing misrepresentation. You could argue that it's not at all a misrepresentation because the names on the birth certificates are the names that you put down, right? So there are many kind of defenses if it becomes problematic. However, at the end of the day, you would still have received that tourist visa. You would still qualify for a VAWA. So the misrepresentation is not something that would make a difference, and that is an argument that could be made to the government, right? It's not a material misrepresentation. That is what you can prove to the government. Okay, I hope that was helpful, Mickey. At the end of the day, I guess my point here is that it's not, as long as you're forthcoming, the government will appreciate that. As long as you are being credible and truthful and being forthcoming, they'll appreciate your honesty. And you'll be rewarded, hopefully, for that. Okay, I hope that is helpful to you. Thank you for your question. Great. All right, so let me see. What are the chances of getting PR if filed in deferred action? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm thinking you mean PD, prosecutorial discretion, which you could. I think that prosecutorial discretion means that the government might not want to pursue your case. So you can apply, if you're in immigration court, you can apply for something called prosecutorial discretion, showing that the government doesn't want to pursue your case because you have another immigration benefit, right? And it kind of saves everybody time. It's more efficient for the courts that are already overloaded. So you might be able to get that if if you already have an approved VAWA, for example. So I think the chances are pretty high, but it depends on the government officer that is working against you in immigration court. So I don't think it's 100% guarantee, but I think that if a strong argument is made, you can certainly get your immigration court case dismissed. All right. When does H-1 green card move? I'm not sure what that means. Usually when people have an H-1B visa, right around the time that they're renewing it. So H-1B is usually available for 3 years at a time and a maximum of 6 years. Usually our clients will file for a green card application at the first extension. That's what I would recommend. I don't know what you mean by when does it move. So if you want to clarify, I can try to explain for you, okay? Khalifa says, what can I do about my I-130 approval? It's been 4 months and NVC has not received it yet. I don't think 4 months is actually unusual at this point. It does take a really long time for NVC to open up a case for you. So this is if you're filing for a green card for somebody who is located abroad. The first part is done in the U.S. where you show your own status and you show your relationship to that person. Once that's approved, the case should be automatically transferred to what's called the National Visa Center that helps you fill out an application online about the person that you're sponsoring, and also upload a number of different documents to support for various different things, like marriage certificate, maybe children's birth certificates, financial documents, and whatnot. They have to open up a case for you before you can do that. So if that case has not been opened, I think 4 months is not unreasonable at this point. Unfortunately, everything is very delayed, but you can reach out to your congressperson or your senator and see if they can figure out what's going on with your case. Most of these folks have an immigration representative in their office, and you can reach out to them and they might be able to help you kind of figure out what's stalled in your case and how to get that fixed. Okay? Excuse me. We would love to help you. Khalifa says, please help. I would love to help you. Call our office for a consultation, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. Okay? Or you can go on our Facebook page, Agarwal Immigration, or our website, agarwalimmigration.com, and schedule your consultation there. How can you get people a green card when they're not in this country legally? There are many different ways. So the best ways for people to get a green card who are not in the country legally kind of depends a little bit on how they entered, right? If they entered illegally, then the options that are available to them are mostly humanitarian options. Like if they're afraid to return to their home country, if they're in an abusive marriage or abusive relationship with their spouse, or if they're even being abused by U.S. citizen children, that could be a way for them to apply for a green card. If they've been exploited at work, if they've witnessed a crime, there are many different ways to receive a humanitarian green card if you've entered illegally and you're here illegally. So it doesn't mean you're out of options. You should certainly check out your options if you have entered the U.S. illegally, and you might qualify for humanitarian options that could lead to a green card. Okay, we help many clients in this type of situation. All right. If you entered legally, you have more options available to you. Like, for example, if you marry a U.S. citizen, you're in a happy marriage, you can apply for and receive a green card if you entered the U.S. legally. Okay. Give us a call if we can help you. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. We'd love to help you with your immigration questions. What I do is schedule a consultation. So if you schedule a consultation, it will be with me. Most of the time it's by Zoom, but some people like to come in person. Several people like to do phone consultations if they're not comfortable with Zoom. Whatever you are comfortable with, I'm happy to meet with you in person, on the phone, or by Zoom. And what we do is kind of excuse me, go through your immigration history and ooh, excuse me guys, go through your immigration history and come up with different options for you. Sorry about that, a little cough here. All right. Well, I think I'm going to head out because my throat is bothering me. But thank you so much for joining me, and I will be on again and answer immigration questions. If you haven't already liked our page on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, please do that. Follow us, like us, so you know when I go live. If you know of other people that might be interested in immigration, if they have immigration questions, please share this with them. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. If you want to chat with me one-on-one in terms of a scheduling consultation to talk about your immigration options, I'd love to meet with you by phone, Zoom, in person. Just let me know. Call our office 703-348-1663. Look forward to meeting with many of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you soon. All right. Bye, everybody.